That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's Sunday. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's Sunday Fun Day, and we are live in the alley with Billy Trzynski and Josh Savali. Let's That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's Sunday Fun Day, and we are live in the alley with Billy Trzynski and Josh Savali. Let's go, Buffalo!
Sunday afternoon here in the alley. Footman is you at downtown Brewcombe Rally. Prognostication, hilarious jokes. So grab your beer when it's so flash you hear we're live in the alley.
Welcome to Live in the alley. It's very, very dead quiet from the snow. Josh is out plowing or napping. Aaron's sick. Don't worry, Jim is here, so the show is safe. We haven't seen you guys in 3 weeks was the last show? Been a long time coming. You only missed the win against the Colts, a win against the Chiefs, and a win against the bye. Undefeated against the bye, and Jimmer, what year did they start the bye week? Any clue? That's a good question.
That is a good question, but I do not know that one.
Me neither. So undefeated against the bye for forever. The big news is 2 weeks ago, Bills at home, 4:30 window, the second most viewed NFL game this year. Of course, now second to Giants Cowboys on Thanksgiving, which somehow pulled in 38 million viewers. It's only because the game's on. It's the only thing I can imagine. But other than that, the second most viewed game this season, and it was a doozy. The Bills beat the Chiefs again in the regular season, just like everyone expected, because that's what happens. So, well, guess what? They'll wait to the postseason to lose to the Chiefs again, which I guess you shouldn't say it like that, but just kind of seems like that's the way it goes. We've got their number in the regular season. They've got ours in the postseason. The Chiefs already won this week. They still hold a one-game edge on race for the 1 seed, but the Bills are right there at 9-2. Other teams starting to falter here and there with a couple more losses. So, hey. So that's, it's still fun, though. The race for the 1 seed is definitely in play for the Bills. And then today or tonight, whenever, I guess it's dark enough now, you can call it night. Niners at Bills tonight, Sunday Night Football. Brock Purdy is playing. No one else on the Niners is to be found. They are just slammed with injuries, which I'm sure Jim will get into, but it has been a line for them the last couple weeks. Brock Purdy missing last week, but Shanahan, and if anybody follows close attention to this, Kyle Shanahan is the worst coach in the NHL. When it comes to player injury designations, I mean, they could get fined for some things that happened earlier this year with a couple players. You just really never know what's going on with his guys. So I don't trust that. I don't even trust that Brock Purdy's in the state of New York yet. I can't trust Shanahan when it comes to injuries. On the Bills injury front, though, things are definitely starting to get better. The team as a whole, Keon Coleman listed as questionable, but practicing without a brace, practicing without the red penny on. The big news, Matt Milano is set to play his first NFL game in 13 months. Think about that. What were you doing 13 months ago? I'm sure it wasn't playing football like him. I'm sure we were sitting here like this. Or in London. He got hurt in the London game. Then he got hurt again before the season started. But anyway, Matt Milano is back for today's game. That's huge. I'm sure there's a pitch count on him. Maybe he'll be on third down passing downs, however the Bills want to utilize him. But to get him up to real NFL game speed is huge if he can stay healthy. Him and Terrell Bernard together for the Bills linebacking core. You already take a good linebacking core with Bernard and Dorian Williams, who plays pretty good. You take him out and put Matt Milano in there next to Bernard, who Bernard's having an all-pro year the way Milano used to. I mean, look the hell out. On the other side of the ball, mentioned Amari Cooper's more healthier, gooder. Keon Coleman hopefully is playing, get him back in action this afternoon or this evening, I'm sorry. The Bills' offense against the Chiefs, Cook had 2 more rushing touchdowns, but I think he's up to over 10 for the season, which he had 2 last year. And the Bills couldn't run the ball for jack against the Chiefs, except for one guy on one play. That was kind of a big deal. He's not even here. But the Bills' rush offense, not great, but Allen was there in the passing offense. Shakir especially, that guy's having a hell of a year. There to pick everybody up against the Chiefs, which they are no slouch. Yes, I know they keep winning games in mysterious ways by 1 score, but a W is a W. And they only have 1. We have 2. But we've got them. We hold the tiebreaker with them. So now the Bills do enter a pretty rough stretch of games. We just faced the Chiefs. We had the bye week. Now we've got San Francisco, who are not who we thought they are, but they're still pretty good. They're the Niners. They're loaded with talent. We've got the Rams away. We've got the Lions away. And we still have 3 divisional games left. We haven't even played the Patriots yet, which Drake May looks like he might be a real NFL quarterback. And then there's the Jets in there too. And NFL quarterbacks and playing. And we'll find out more about that as this season comes to a close, I suppose. But the Bills, with Miami losing Thursday night to Green Bay, the Bills have a chance to wrap up the AFC East tonight, which they'll be the 3rd team to wrap up the division before week 11, I believe, since 2002. Also, they will be the first NFL team to wrap up their division with still having yet to play one of their division opponents at least once. Like I mentioned, they haven't played the Patriots yet. They could win the division before they even play New England, and that's not for another 3 weeks. So that's kind of cool. Write that down. It's snowing. These are the big flakes, too. Is it big? It's heavy? Like Marty McFly heavy? Yeah, they're accumulating. It's not bad, though. I don't know. We're out here in snowsuits. Who gives a shit? Green jacket, gold jacket. Anyway, I can only talk by myself for so long. So it's time for Jives with Jimmer.
It's time for Jive with Jim.
Kind of got the snow globe effect going
I
here.
know. This is pretty wild. It's not even computer effect. No CGI.
No AI.
Mm-mm.
All right, ready to talk some Niners?
Born to talk Niners.
All right, like you mentioned, not what we're used to for San Francisco. Coming in today, record of 5-6, losers of their last 2. Technically, last place in the NFC West.
Which is a dogfight, right?
They're only 1 game out of the division lead.
Yeah.
They're them and the Rams are 5-6. Seattle and Arizona are 6-5. Not what we're expecting out of a team that has made the NFC title game the last 3 years and are the defending NFC champions. 5-6, the 49ers are under 500 at the latest point in the season since 2018. When you look at their overall stats, how do they have a losing record?
Please tell me.
The offense sits at 4th overall. Rushing offense is 7th. Passing offense 4th. Defense is 3rd overall.
What?
Yeah, seriously. They're racking up good stats, but where they're not racking up good numbers, scoring. Coming in today, they've scored 260 points, which puts them at 14th in the league. Other side of the ball, the defense is allowed 260 points, also good for 14th.
Oh, right in the middle of the road. Well,
Yeah.
middle of the pack.
32 teams in the NFL, 4th overall in scoring and points allowed, middle of the road, exactly, which is reflected by their 5-6 record.
Middle of the road.
Case can be said that they should be better than 5-6. 4 of their losses came by 6 points or less. Then again, you could say maybe a little worse than 5-6, as 2 were by 6 points or less. And you alluded to situation with their injuries.
Yeah, not good.
Are you ready?
Yes.
2023 Offensive Player of the Year, Christian McCaffrey, missed San Fran's first 8 games with Achilles tendonitis in both knees. He's played in the last 3 games, but he's put up subpar numbers. His highest total yardage, that's rushing and receiving combined, 107. That's it. Defensive tackle Jason Hargrave ruled out for the season after week 3 with a triceps injury. Wide receiver Deebo Samuel, he's missed 3 games. Tight end George Kittle, he missed a week 3 loss to the Rams. First round draft pick wide receiver Ricky Pearsall, shot
Shots.
and a robbery attempt before the season. And he has been active the last 3 games, though.
What a weird, ankle, arm, shot.
Top backup running back Elijah Mitchell. He didn't even make it out of training camp.
Nope.
He was put on season-ending IR with a hamstring injury in August. Quarterback Chardavius Ward. He's missed week 6 and also the last 2 weeks. He is expected to be back for tonight's game. Wide receiver Brandon Ayuk tore both his ACL and MCL in week 7, done for the season.
What are you getting pelted with something hard?
Yeah, it's called snow.
It is just like billowing off of Dave's tent.
Brings us to last week's game, 49ers versus the Packers.
Oh, wait, hang on. And
Yes.
Trent Williams.
We're getting there.
Oh, and Fred Warner.
We're getting there.
All right. Okay.
3 new players were out last week with injuries. Offensive tackle Trent Williams, quarterback Brock Purdy, defensive end Nick Bosa. This was the 74th all-time matchup between the 49ers and Packers, a historical bad one for San Francisco. Green Bay won 38-10, the Packers' most lopsided victory over San Francisco ever. It was the 49ers' worst regular season loss since losing by 29 to the Rams in 2018.
Wow.
The 3rd largest loss since Kyle Shanahan has been the head coach, as well as the worst road loss under Shanahan.
Lots of worse there.
Lots of worse. Although Purdy is expected to be back in the starting lineup, 49ers will be without Williams and Bosa again this week, and also guard Aaron Banks, defensive tackle Jordan Elliott, and nickelback Diamador Lenore. Plus, they have a slew of players listed as questionable. And you mentioned Fred Warner. He's been playing with a fractured ankle.
Since week 4.
Right.
They said he's getting the jab before every game. I didn't know they still did that. Apparently, it is
Apparently, do it, and
prevalent.
it's okay.
Yeah. Jab them up.
Bills were on their bye last week. Scheduling quirk for the Niners. This is the 4th time in their last 6 games that they're playing a team coming off the bye.
Ooh.
And not too much history between the Bills and 49ers. They played each other 13 times. Bills have a 7-6 series edge, plus the Bills have won the past 2. Most notable game, September 13th, 1992. A Bills 34-31 victory. First game ever that did not have a punt by either team. The game had 10 lead changes. Both Jim Kelly and Steve Young had over 400 yards passing. For the Bills, Andre Reed had 144 yards receiving. Tight end Pete Metzelaars had 113 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. while San Francisco's Mike Sherrard had 159 yards receiving.
Mike Sherrard?
Mike Sherrard.
Didn't know him.
That was
Is that
92.
92?
92 or 93.
Yeah. First ever no punt game, and I think there's been 2 no punt games this season. Offense has definitely gone downhill.
Yes. That's all I got for the Niners.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of the Niners. Shanahan, like I said, he's a shyster.
He's a
But-
Shanaheister.
I also believe that this would be the first time if they lose tonight, they will endure a 3-game losing streak under Shanahan.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're a very, very, very top-heavy talent team. If all their number 1 guys are healthy,
Then they're rolling.
look out.
Look out.
They might as well be the best team in the NFL. That's the way they were last year. But
Not all their guys are healthy.
not all their guys are healthy, and you can see like that's where maybe a team like Bills are a pretty good example of this. Where the Bills have endured a lot of injuries, a lot of team depth, not a lot of top. You got your top heavy at quarterback, your top heavy at left tackle, and that's might be about it. You're pretty good everywhere else. The Niners are top heavy at many positions, but
Receiver, running back.
yep, 2 of them go down, and yeah, and
offensive
McCaffrey
line.
absolutely has not looked the same.
Very pedestrian. Doesn't look like he's fully recovered.
No, but I also don't think like I think they're forcing the ball to McCaffrey and not using that. Jordan Mason, who filled in for him, was leading the NFL in rushing for a couple weeks. But it seems McCaffrey's in. You got to figure something out. You see tonight with McCaffrey, it's still obviously maybe dealing with sort of injury, and what kind of effect that's going to have on the game.
I will
Well-
say, when you're saying and this,
Yeah.
Kent was down south last week, flying back Friday from Atlanta to Buffalo. A lot of 49ers fans in light little like fall jackets.
Oh,
So could be a rude awakening for some of our visitors.
yeah. Yeah. Suck on it, San Fran. Yeah. Well, without further ado, it's time for Q&A with Dubla.
That's probably how we feel.
Just got to jiggle the cord. Hi, Aaron.
Feel better, man.
Feel better. Aaron's not feeling too well, so I don't have any witty jokes that Aaron would say or actually anything that he would ask because it's his segment, not ours. But Jimmer, since I got you here,
Yeah.
all right, we're in week 9 and 2 is 11.
With 12 or 13,
13.
depending on bye week for people.
Yep.
But
An interesting case can be made that this could be the first year in quite a few that the NFL MVP may not go to a quarterback,
could go to a running back.
could go to a running back. Which running back, if it opened up wider, the MVP conversation, there's 2 that you could bring that immediately come to mind.
Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry. Right now, if you had to pick between those 2, which one of those would be your NFL MVP non-quarterback based?
I go Saquon Barkley because the Philadelphia Eagles have a better record. Plus, he is ahead of Derrick Henry in the rushing yardage.
Correct. Yeah, he's projected to actually have well over 2,000 yards. Well, if he keeps having 300 total yard games, I mean, he's going to get there somehow. I like that conversation, and I think it's very indicative of like these teams. Like, I don't worship a running back as much as maybe some other people do. Like, I'm fine. I've watched the Bills do it without a stud running back, and maybe if we had one of those guys, it'd be even greater. Sure.
James Cook has been having a good year.
Sure,
I'll say that.
absolutely, but good. But to be like game altering the way that those 2 can be, I feel like Saquon could do that on any team. Where don't get me wrong, I think Derrick Henry is great and has been great this year, but him and Lamar together are what make the
Quite a
Baltimore
dynamic,
offense.
yes.
And it seems like Philly, if they're in trouble, can lean a lot more on Saquon. So if there's ever a year for there to be a non-quarterback MVP, and I think this would be the year it would be Saquon at this point for sure.
Philly does kind of have the same dynamic with Jalen Hurts.
Yes, I don't think it's as known though. I think Lamar is just so much more of a dynamic player than
Right.
and Hurts is still really good at everything. But I think you see it more in Baltimore. Or not.
Well, if you're talking rushing, though, Philadelphia has attempted the least amount of passes in the league.
The least amount of
The
passes.
least amount of passes.
Wow. Holy cats. Well, you were talking about San Francisco with scoring margin. So, question, who leads the NFL in point differential?
I think the Bills.
The Lions.
The Lions? Okay. Yeah.
Now, before the Thursday game, before Thanksgiving, the Lions' point differential was somewhere in like the plus 152 mark, and the Bills are second at like plus 90. So, I mean, plus 50 more, whatever more points a game. Holy cats. And
Quite
then
significant.
Minnesota is third in point differential, before the Thanksgiving games. But, I mean, Detroit is just out there. And they almost
On a
blew it.
rampage. Yeah, they did.
And they only scored 23 on Thursday and coulda, woulda, shoulda lost. And thank God Chicago fired their coach.
That was totally inept.
That could have been fireball offense. Have fun in Detroit on Thanksgiving. We're not bringing you back on the bus.
Yeah.
And that was just awful, awful, awful. Any witty jokes like Aaron would have?
Not specifically. Didn't
Yeah, I mean,
plan on that. So
Well, all right. Thanks, Aaron. Hope you feel better for next week. Let me get I didn't want my card to get wet, but I guess the phone's going to get just as wet because it's time for Quick Picks.
all right.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Quick Picks.
To throw this in the middle, talking about the undefeated against the bye week, just to throw this in the middle of there, this is the only week between the start and the beginning of the bye weeks where no team is on the bye this week. For whatever reason, a scheduling quirk, if you will.
Probably
But-
because they got to fill teams up with Thanksgiving game, the
yeah.
Black Friday game,
Yeah.
Sunday night, Monday night.
Right, you played 4 games before today, when
Yeah.
normally you play 1. All right, let's start off with La at Atlanta.
Atlanta's giving one right off the bat. I got nothing on this one, but I'm going to go with La, the Chargers.
I'll go with La too. I mean, they could have played better against Baltimore in the second half last week. But I think Harbaugh's got a good team over there. I think they're fine.
They're still leading the league in scoring defense.
Yep. And Atlanta is just wishy-washy. Who the hell knows? Potential game of the day, maybe, just for fun. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati.
Cincinnati is giving 3. Cincinnati is 0-6 straight up versus teams 500 or better this year. Pittsburgh has the second fewest points allowed this year. The last 10 times Joe Burrow has faced a D that was 5th or better in scoring defense, he's 7-3 with 10 TDs and only 1 interception. I'm going to go with Cincinnati.
All right. I'm going Pittsburgh because I cannot get behind Cincinnati this year. They could score all the points and Burrow can have all the numbers he wants in the world, but their defense is just lacking in so many different spots for them this year, not giving them any help.
Mhm.
And Pittsburgh, they're fine. I don't know. Screw them. Arizona at Minnesota.
Minnesota is getting 3.5. Excuse me, let's got to be giving 3.5. Let's put it in mind.
Yep.
Vikings have not lost to Cardinals in Minnesota since 1977. That's 11 games.
All 11 of those games.
Minnesota quarterback Sam Darnold tied with Gardner Minshew of Vegas for the most turnovers in the league with 14, but I'm still going to go Minnesota at home.
Yeah, Minnesota at home. Plus, that stadium's too cool to lose in. That doesn't mean anything.
No, look.
Former AFC East foes square off today with Indianapolis at New England.
New England is getting 2.5. New England rookie quarterback Drake Mays, he has 10 touchdown passes this year, all to 10 different receivers.
Wow.
New England is 3-9 against the spread this season, second worst against the spread in the league. I'm going with the Colts.
I'm taking the Patriots at home. I think Richardson is going to have another one of them. He's just 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. And I think Drake Mays, we got to watch out for him in the future. But in New England's not that good anyway, otherwise. All right. Ooh, Seattle at the Jets.
Jets are giving 1. Seattle quarterback Geno Smith, 4-1 all time versus teams he's previously played for. Make it 5-1. Go Seattle.
Wow.
Yep. Jets ain't going to win another game this year.
Whoa. All right. Yes, Seattle. Tennessee at don't screw it up, Washington.
Washington giving 6. Our biggest point spread of the day, part 1. Tennessee, well, I mentioned New England is 3-9. Tennessee is 2-9, which is the worst against the spread. Going Washington.
Yeah, Washington at home. They got to get their crap together. They just lost 4 in a
They kind
row.
of tailed off pretty good there.
3 out of 4 they lost. One of them they won just because of a Hail Mary.
Yep.
Hi, Scott Reynolds.
Hi.
They got to get their crap together if they want to be taken seriously.
Right.
All right. AFC South battle. Texans at Jaguars.
Jags are getting 3.5. Houston has lost 4 of their last 6 and 3 of their last 4. Here come the Jags. Texans have beat them 11 of their past 13 times. I'm going Houston.
Isn't Trevor Lawrence back today?
Even still,
Ah,
I didn't see anything headline with that or anything, but even still, I'm going
You're
Houston.
saying it doesn't matter. I'm taking the Jags with
All
the
right.
points.
Okay.
Other law at New Orleans.
New Orleans is getting 2.5. The last 6 times the Rams were favored on the road. They are 5-1 against the spread. I was hyping up the Rams a couple weeks ago, so I'm sticking with the Rams.
Go Rams. I mean, nothing against the Saints, but yeah, the Rams need a win before the Bills beat them next week. That's what I'm going with. Another big AFC South or NFC South divisional battle. To stay tuned. You'll never know what's going to happen when Tampa Bay and Carolina get together.
Carolina's getting 6, our biggest spread of the day, part 2. After starting the season 1-8, Carolina's won 2 of their last 3. For the first time this season, Panthers quarterback Bryce Young has gone 2 games without a turnover. I'm going to go with Carolina in the upset.
I'm going with Tampa. But back to Bryce Young. We spoke earlier in the season about him being benched and how no quarterback has ever been benched
It's been reclaimed.
and then reclaimed. He's got a good chance if he plays
does.
out the rest of the season to start next year. Maybe he needed those couple games off. Game of the day in the afternoon for sure. Philadelphia at Baltimore.
Baltimore -3. Matchup of the top 2 rushing teams in the league, as we stated before. And we said this every time. Lamar Jackson and his career versus NFC opponents, 23-1. But I'm going to say that 2 happens today.
I'll go with Philly as well. All right, tomorrow night, another game that might not be terrible. Who the hell knows with these teams anymore? Denver looks all right. Bo Nix is playing okay. Cleveland at Denver.
I missed this one.
5.5, I've got the spread.
But I'm going to go with Denver.
Okay, me too. All right. And then tonight, the San Francisco 49ers, the Buffalo Bills. Sunday Night Football, halftime drone spectacular.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey.
All right. Buffalo is giving 6, our biggest spread of the week, part 3.
Woo!
Second straight game, 49ers have been underdogs after being favored their previous 36 regular season games. San Francisco 1-4 against the spread on the road. Too many injuries, traveling to the East Coast, weather. Bills pretty comfortably, I'm going to say 33-14.
The Buffalo Bills have won 9 games this season. In all 9 games, they have scored a minimum of 30 points. The Bills score a minimum of 30 points tonight, which means they will win the game. Bills 30.5 to 12 or something like that. I can see San Fran getting some groove and getting some points, but I think the Bills are just on a click, and the Bills are hot in December. They've lost 2 games under Sean McDermott in the month of December. Well, since 2020, and they're both in the same year in 21. So, I mean, once we get past the bye, the Bills just kind of seem to click right up until they lose in the postseason. So,
And that half point, it's like half a rouge. That
yeah, half a rouge.
All
Well,
right.
we're so close to Canada, we got to bring the rules down. Scott, what are
Our
you
Canadian
doing?
friends.
I'm thirsty. I'm eating snow. Well, I eat pieces of snow like you for breakfast.
Oh,
No? Anyone? Got nothing. All right. Well, with that, from Jim and Billy, I hope you guys had a happy Thanksgiving. It's only going to get better from here on out weather-wise. It
Hope
gets
so.
colder this week and more snow. So,
Yay.
go Bills.